Hey, welcome back to the Unshakable Founder. My name's Josh, and this is week 14 of having started this business. I started recording these 14 weeks ago, but I started this business, this coaching business, back in January of this year. It's right now. It's August. What is it? It's August 14th, 2025. And there's a lot to catch you guys up on today. I'm going to be opening up with some personal updates and then jumping into my business learnings and kind of things that I'm dealing with on a day-to-day basis. And so let me open up my notes really quickly. I'm trying to be better about the way I communicate things. I'm trying to be more thoughtful in the way that I frame the things that I say. So I'm going to be pausing a lot more just to be more intentional with what I'm trying to share with you guys. And that's in an effort to improve my communication skills. That being said, let's jump in. I'm going to go to my notes. Topics for today. Okay, personal updates. Starting off with last Friday, I tried a new recipe for my son, and he's kind of a picky eater. So the things that we try for him are kind of hit or miss. But when he does like things, it feels so rewarding for my wife and I. And so the thing that I tried making on Friday morning was broccoli, potato, cheese and egg hash. What did I call them? I called them, I think just potato hash. But yeah, it's kind of like a hash brown. But yeah, it's just got potato, broccoli, cheese, and an egg. And you just mix that all together and you create these little like hashes. And he liked it. And it was pretty rewarding for him to be able to eat those and enjoy them. So I just thought I'd add that in. There are little things in our days like that just add so much life to kind of our days. And it's just so rewarding to be able to do things like that for my son, which is kind of crazy. It's still crazy for me to say. The fact that he's here and that we have this little life that we're taking care of is just, it's insane, really. But we're doing the best that we can. The other update is, this past weekend, my family came to visit, and it's kind of a rare occasion that we get together outside of holidays. And so my sister, she'd been wanting to come over because we have this really big pool in our community. And she's been wanting to bring her daughter, my niece. And so she invited my mom and my sister came over. We grilled some carne asada and some chicken, and that was my first time grilling, to be honest. And I felt pretty accomplished having worked the grill properly and cooked the meat to, I'd say, pretty good state. But yeah, it was just so much fun having them over and being able to just sit and talk and enjoy the time together, because we don't often get to spend time, all of us together. My wife was there with my son, and my mom was just really enjoying it with her grandkids. So I just wanted to share that. And then the last personal update, which will kind of transition us into the business updates, is that I got an offer from an architecture firm that I applied to about 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago. I had 2 interviews. I had the initial interview, which I talked about here a couple of episodes ago. And then I had an interview with the CEO of the firm last week. And that went well as well. That went well also. I got the offer letter this past Monday, a week after the interview. And it was a couple of things around this. So this is kind of transitioning into the business side of things, but it plays into my mindset as well. And this is just to kind of showcase to you guys that there are things that I need to work on my mindset as well. It's not just mindset is never just a one and done kind of thing. And this is like a lifetime of implementing the things that I teach and learn myself. And so the reason why I say this is because the offer that came in was at a higher salary than I had mentioned in the interview, which was great, right? But the position was also higher. It was a step up above the position that I applied for, which initially freaked me out a little bit. And I had to kind of be aware of why I was panicking. And it had to do with, feelings of like, I am not ready for that position. Like I don't have some of the experiences listed under that. But overall, kind of the ultimate goal is for them to see where I land in terms of experience. And so there are two kind of probationary periods. There's a month long, like the first initial assessment, where we kind of determine where I fall. And that will determine whether I stay at that position or salary level, or if I drop down to the one that I kind of initially applied for. And I don't necessarily know what to expect, because one of the main reasons why I accepted this offer was because of the conversation that I had with the main principal of the firm that I'll be working with. And he just seems like a really great leader. And he's the reason, like he's what eased my kind of anxiety around being in a corporate role again. And that's something that I have to come to terms with, because up until this point, I've really enjoyed my autonomy. My ability to choose my own schedules, to be able to go out in the middle of the day and walk my dog, to have conversations, at any point, because my wife works from home as well, having conversations with her, that's all kind of going away now. And it's for a good reason, right? Like there was anxiety, with this autonomy, there was anxiety around me not bringing in an income, because I'm trying to figure things out as I go. And that anxiety wasn't just experienced by me, it was experienced by my wife as well. And she has, she has a right, she has good reason, I should say. She has really good reason to feel anxious, right? Like I've gone through a lot of my own savings, and a lot of that went towards paying off debt, and a lot of that went towards investing in myself. And we don't have anything to show for it yet, right? I've generated 4 figures in this business so far, which is not a lot, but it's shown me that it's possible. This whole thing that I'm trying to achieve is possible. This whole financial abundance thing, it's possible. And that's the key thing, right? That it's possible. But now I have a full-time job in about a week and a half. No, in a little over a week, right? And I don't start next week, but I start the following week. And while I'm excited to be starting that and excited to see where that leads and the kind of experience that I get, because I'm going to have to juggle a whole lot of new things. And I may be set back here in the business, but that's okay, because the income that I have coming in is providing a ton of financial security, I guess you could say. Like the financial scarcity part of it is kind of being removed, which I think will allow me to focus more on the essentials that I need to get done in order to move this business forward. And there's a whole lot to that, right? There's mindset work that needs to be done on my end to make sure I'm prepared for all of that additional responsibility that's being put on my plate. And it's by choice, right? It's by choice, but it's also by nature of the fact that we need money. We need money to survive. And I need to be able to help provide for my family, right? There's responsibilities. And this leads into something else that I was thinking about this week, which is one of my missions is to inspire people who are in my position where they're working a full-time job, they have a family, and it's so much harder, but at the same time so much more rewarding when you figure things out that will eventually lead you to your dream lifestyle. And for many people, for, I don't know, 90+% of people out there, they don't even think that's a possibility for them. And my mission is to reach those people, to reach you, thinking like, this is not possible for me. Like I'm just not in a position, like I don't learn well. I don't know any marketing or sales. I didn't either. And I'm learning and figuring things out as I go, sharing everything here. And, if there's anything that you guys want to know, like, please feel free to leave a comment and ask questions, because, that'll give me a better idea for what else I can talk about in this, initial part of my journey. And I've learned a ton. I have. And I'm going to be starting, other videos outside of this series, because this is more like a vlog style, right? Like this is more, me sharing my experiences from this past week, but there's a whole set of ideas that I have of, things on like self-awareness, motivation, mindset and psychology and neuroscience and all these things that I'm super interested in and would love to share with you guys, so that you know what I know, and that ultimately you guys eventually believe that it's possible that with enough investing of your own time and money and patience, that you can eventually get to your dream life. And the only proof I can offer you guys now is that I've made money. I have a corporate client that I have one more presentation for. I have, which I never thought I was going to have until maybe like 5-10 years from now, right? And that was the first client that I ever got. Corporate client. I have a one-on-one client that I'm working with now, which I'm in my 3rd week with her, and it's going great. I could not have asked for a more ideal client. She's eager and willing to learn, to put in the work, to learn more about herself, to dive deeper and understand the things that prevent her from making money in her own business. And it's been going great, right? Like it's just, if I could like have 100 more of her to refine my program and just make this the absolute best it could possibly be, then I'm on my way, right? I'm on my way, and I'm on a mission to find those people who, want to improve and want to get out of their own way. But this is the very start, right? This is the very start of what it takes to build something that I truly believe will be life-changing in terms of inspiring other people to change their own lives and to take control of their own lives, and finally make the impact that I know that all of you can make if you decide to take action, if you decide that for yourself and for anyone else important to you in your life. Oh, that was quite a rant. Yeah, I had on here week 3 of 13 with my client, which, is going great. This past week, we talked about her core values, and I challenged her on her core values, and, overall it went great. But there was this one particular question that I asked, and I can't really say it word for word, but essentially what it was I asked her about the people that she looks up to, that she really admires. And I told her, if they came to you and said, look, I will work with you for 5 years if you give up one of your core values, which one would you give up? And I will mentor you myself. And she stopped and and she said, you know what? I don't want to lie to myself. There is one on this list that I do feel I could possibly give up to be able to work with one of those people. And those kind of deep introspective moments are, what excite me, because I am on a mission to help people discover, core values are so powerful. And I've talked about this multiple times, They're so powerful in guiding your decisions and guiding your direction in life if you're open to committing and following, what it takes to uphold those values. Because that's the hard part, right? Even in difficult situations, being able to uphold those values is really difficult. And so, helping her discover what core values are just non-negotiable. And that exercise was really fun to go through. It's going great. Like I said, she's the most ideal client I could possibly ask for, and I hope I can find a lot more of her so that I can, make that impact and inspire her to continue to make the change that will get her out of her own way and building a business that aligns with her and that she is, going to make a whole lot of impact and money from. I've been slowing down on my content lately. The main platform that I'm on is Instagram. And this usually happens around the time that I have a presentation coming up for my corporate client. And I do. It's next week. But I've also been juggling, having the offer come in and accepting it, trying to figure out how I'm going to structure my days and my weekends so that I can still make forward progress in my business and, still be able to balance spending quality time with my family. Because that family is one of my core values. And I don't want to become this person who neglects family in pursuit of money or in pursuit of, something that is ultimately is designed to make my life better and my family lives better. And if I'm just a negligent and absent father, then it's not worth it to dedicate so much extra time. It just means that I need to get clearer on what I need to get done. That's it. There is no stopping it. It's going to take me longer, and that's okay. Because getting into this, I didn't have a kind of a set deadline. This is like the sort of thing is just like until it, like I'm in it until it works. And there's a phrase that I can't think of now, but basically, yeah, until I can get it to work is, I will continue to work on it as long as it takes. As long as it takes, that's what it was. As long as it takes. But yeah, honestly, I think that's what it takes to be successful, is to be willing to dedicate yourself to something that, however long it takes is how much time you give it, and that's it. I know what I'm doing is going to make an impact and going to inspire change and going to help a ton of first-time, online service-based founders make more impact and money. I know that to be true. And it's just a matter of time to get it to become this thing that I envision it to be, this grand thing of like just providing like, top of the line content, well produced assignments, worksheets, and overall just like, inspiring group calls with other like-minded founders where we all get together and just, share in each other's struggles, share in each other's wins, and it's gonna be amazing. So I can't wait for you guys to kind of see that just come to fruition on this channel. Oh, yeah. So another thing around the content is that I've been overthinking things a bit too much. One of the things that this has shown me that that I haven't been able to keep up with the amount of content I want to put out is that I don't have, like, my system, there's chinks, is that the right word? There's chinks in the armor. There's holes in my system that need to be filled. And part of that is just my overthinking it. And so I need to find better ways to remind myself that the content is not about me or people judging me. It's about reaching the people that I need to reach to have the impact that I'm looking to make, to inspire that change. And I know I keep repeating that, but like I mentioned before, there's mindset there's mindset challenges that come with doing this type of stuff. And I think the biggest challenge has just been in not wanting to script my videos, wanting them to be just kind of off the cuff and unscripted and real and raw. Because over this past couple of weeks, there was this guy that I've been following, and he started his YouTube channel, I think like a month and a half ago, maybe. But he was an ex-Google employee, and I think he only lasted there, I don't remember if it was like 9 months, but it wasn't very long until he figured out that this is not for me. Or he was in a position where he was making like multi six figures, but he was like, this is just not what I envisioned for my life. There's got to be more. So he quit, and he started his Instagram, and literally within like a week or two, gained over 150,000 followers. And he literally just picks up the camera and talks to it, his honest experiences and journey that he's going through. And again, this kind of goes back to one that people are craving just honest conversation around what they're dealing with, especially around starting something that makes you money online. Because there's this whole fascination that has exploded in, since the internet, basically. Because there's this whole online economy of money to be made where you can have that impact, you can have that fulfillment and joy connecting with other like-minded people. And in sharing in your experiences and your knowledge, having that impact is just so much more rewarding than being enclosed in the same four walls for 40 years. It's just a completely different life, but that's the reality of what's possible today. And in him sharing his journey, there are two things that I realize, and it's that, one, I need to be able to articulate myself a lot more clearly than I currently am able to. And so, for me, maybe that's developing a framework or following another creator's framework that I kind of came upon, where I just practice articulating my thoughts in that framework. And I don't want it to be scripted. I just want it to be my honest thoughts about what I'm going through, what I'm experiencing, and sharing the knowledge of what I'm learning. And then the second thing is, he, as far as I know, is a single individual with no kids. He does have to worry about rent, but he's living in Japan, and I think I have no idea how much rent is there, but he was making six figures, and he probably has a good cushion, right? And because he has 150,000 followers, he's already done a pre-launch of something where he started a wait list and he's already made like $7,000 just from people wanting to understand how he was able to generate, so many followers so quickly. And it's pretty evident just from watching his channel, but people are asking what's the secret? There's no secret. It's just, whether or not what you post resonates with other people. So that kind of detracted from what I was trying to say, is that I think things are easier when you're single. It's easier to focus. It's easier to not get distracted. It's easier to start from scratch. And the reality of my situation and why I think people are so kind of turned away from entrepreneurship is that, oh, I don't have time. I have a family, I have a mortgage, I have a full-time job, and that's all I can handle. and that's fine. But if you're not willing to sacrifice some of your time to go for your dream lifestyle, then you will never reach it, right? And that's what I'm trying to do, is I'm trying to reach that dream lifestyle for me and my family. And there's no way I don't get there as long as I continue to take action, and action that is needle moving in my business, not just, busy work. I actually need to reach out to other people. I need to advertise, I need to create content that, gets put into a funnel so that people are aware of who I am, draw them into what I can offer them, and then eventually, pitch that offer so that I can have that impact and make that money and change the lives of not just me and my family, but to inspire other people to change their lives. And that makes me indirectly part of all of the lives that my future clients, the lives that they will change. And there's no trading that for anything else. Like, there's no other higher form of fulfillment and satisfaction than knowing that you're having that type of impact. That's it for this week. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you next week.